Welcome back to the Movie Draft House. I'm your host Mark, and it's another 5-minute review. In today's review, we're going to be talking about the recently released on streaming Netflix original Spaceman. It is another Adam Sandler film, and it is directed by Johan Rennick, who you may know from the HBO series Chernobyl. And it's written by Karoslav Kolfer and Colby Day, and I believe Yaroslav Kolfer is the writer to the book that this is adapted from, called Spaceman of Bohemia. And so this stars, as I said, Adam Sandler, Carrie Mulligan as Adam Sandler's wife, Linka. And Adam Sandler plays Jacob Prochazka, and then the voice of Paul Dano as Hanus, the imaginary slash alien spider in the film. Isabella Rossellini makes a brief appearance as Commissioner Tuma, and Lena Olin as Zadina, and that's pretty much it. The premise of the story is that Adam Sandler's Jacob's character, he's a Czech astronaut in a weird kind of alternate timeline where Czech and Russia are competing to be the first one to investigate this weird purple space cloud that is like, I guess, past Venus or somewhat Jupiter. I don't know. I forget. But anyways, it's a solo mission. So he makes this trip alone. It's a year long, and we're introduced to him as he's on the ship by himself. And that's really pretty much it. And then he meets this spider who tells him that the spider tells him through telekinesis type abilities that he's been around Jacob for a long time, and he's been learning how humans operate and think and their customs and history. And he is also on his way to this purple cloud in space. And let me just tell you, this is one of Adam Sandler's weirdest movies, and he's made some weird fucking movies. It's an interesting film because it's told through a lot of flashbacks and Adam Sandler talking to himself, really. And the whole premise of not the whole premise, but the whole point of the spider is that it's really Jacob's, how he deals with his loneliness. I don't think the spider is real. I don't think it's an alien spider, even though the film wants you to believe that it's a real alien spider. I think this is how Jacob is dealing with his isolation. And the premise on the surface level is like, oh, how does Jacob deal with being this pioneer, the first human to ever go past the moon, this explorer, that he's going into this purple cloud that no one's ever seen or anything with. And the alien spider tells him, hey, that's the origins of the universe. That's both the beginning and the end. And so I don't know what's going to happen once we go into it. And then you have Carrie Mulligan, who plays his wife, and she's angry at him. She wants to leave him. She leaves him a message saying that, hey, their marriage is over, but the space agency doesn't want to give it to him just because Adam Sandler's character is in a fragile state. And so throughout the film, Jacob and Hanus, they have these conversations, and Hanus reads his mind on, unwilling, Jacob's an unwilling participant, but he reads his mind and goes into his memories, and they come to this realization, and Jacob comes to this realization based off of what Hanus is telling him, is that the journey was always on Earth. It was never about going to space. And we learn that there's some trauma in Jacob's past, and how he deals with that, and but the story never really dives into those themes, and we're just left with a movie about a man talking to an imaginary alien spider, and that's about it. It's an interesting film. It ultimately falls short, right? I'm gonna say I've seen better. Even though it's a different movie for Adam Sandler, and I admire his ability to try new genres. I mean, he's made some other sci-fi films before, but nothing like ever in space. So, I mean, it's a good branch out for him, but the movie ultimately is not that good. So, I've seen better. You can give it a pass. Anyways, hit the subscribe button when it pops up so you don't miss any future content right here on the podcast. And if you want to follow the podcast on all your favorite social media platforms, we're on Twitter we're on social media at Movie Draft House on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, right here on YouTube. We're doing big things everywhere. And don't forget the podcast releases weekly every Thursday on your favorite podcast streaming platform. And we'll catch you next time.
You wish to know if I am real. I am like you, an explorer. Your loneliness intrigued me.
Why are you here?